just as a grab-and-go kind of thing, it's always nice to have them in stock because a lot of people come, surprisingly, even though about 95% of our business goes out the door every day. It's all through here. For guys like you who are lucky enough to be pretty close by, you can certainly come in and pick up the things that are made right here. So it's kind of like getting your shoes from the factory, but a lot of people don't have that luxury, so a lot of it goes out the door. And this is basically all it. Where you see here where the bungees and the tags are, those are separating different systems, so that way we can kind of keep track of where they're going and who they're going to, and all the pieces get there. They're also tagged, so Porsche of the main line, it looks like, has Porsche of Melbourne, actually, in Florida. Looks like you have a system going out pretty soon, so it's very cool. Some CCBs are going out the door. So basically this is where everything gets packaged up and leaves, which is kind of an odd place to start your tour, but in any event, this is where we're at. So as you guys know, we obviously do our own fabrication all here in-house. Some examples of that. This is it's a TSI downpipe, Mark 5, Mark 6, A3. This is a TTRS intercooler. The end tanks are all CNC'd with the mounting points and everything like that. It's all CNC'd from a 145-pound block of aluminum, which I'll show you guys later on. And as you can see, it is quite a bit thicker than the stock intercooler. It's got about 80% more cooling area, surface cooling area, and it gives a nice boost. I think it's like 15 horsepower, something like that, because the RS we found is wound pretty tight from the factory. So our next stop is going to be this guy. This is an A7 3-liter turbo exhaust. This is something that we're looking to launch in the next month. We're lucky enough to have a fellow who has a A7 give it to us and kind of let us do our thing on it. This is a production system. Now, the one thing that we do here, none of the stuff is one-off. So everything we have is set up to make one or make 1,000 of them. So as you see where that little cradle that the downpipe's sitting on, and this guy right here, these are our jigs. Basically, when a stock exhaust system comes off of a car, we take all of our measurements, kind of make our own version of it, and then in order to have our accuracy, which is something we really pride ourselves on, we make these jigs. This ensures that everything is made the same. They all fit into, you have your channel for the stock exhaust hanger, all your piping, everything like that. It's all going to be 100% match. We do suspensions as well. We are factory H&R and Bilstein distributor. Everything from that giant spacer you see there to a full PSS 10 coilover setup. We can help you out. Same thing with brakes, Hawk power slot, Brembo, Goodrich lines, and we're also factory back to Borg Warner distributor. So this is a copy of the KO4 kit for the TSI that set the quarter mile records, 360 horsepower, 370 torque. So next we have Emmett. I'm going to show you some mounting, balancing, alignment kind of stuff. What's going on our touchscreen system? Brief. Scratch any windows. Set up ones on a client's BAS board today, $1,300 a ton. The last thing we want to do is straighten them up. And there it is. What's that? Alright. This is our laser alignment system. Allows us to dial in any alignment specs that you would want. If you're going to go something a little bit more aggressive for a race setup, or run a little bit of camber in the front, things like that, we can align it and dial in 100%. This is our in-house V8 that it's set up on. It has our exhaust, some other little things going on there as well. Bike rack on the top, just gotta have that. Black diamond tips as well. It's a pretty popular option for that car. It gives it a nice look, blends in pretty well. This is one of our performance surfaces in action. It's Mark IV 337 GTI, being a stage 2 endurance south bend clutch. So I think it's in pieces. If you can see the front of it, it would be in pieces. It's just kind of an example of the depth of car that we work on. It's not all high-end, brand new stuff, obviously. This is a Golf R. You guys all probably know. This was our Golf R development car. Right now it has our prototype switch path exhaust with flat tips. There's a valve in here, just like all our Golfs. They do come with butterfly valves. Ours is controlled off of a switch mounted in the cabin. It's going to be an option for the system when it comes out. But it also has the GISE software, some other little things, but it's coming together pretty well. We'll be working on the downpipe for it pretty soon. The owner took it to Southern Sea a few weeks ago. Loves it. Had a great time. He actually picked it up here and drove it straight through down to Georgia. No hiccups. All good. Next stop is going to be the dyno. This is our in-house Mustang dyno and our ES4 shop car on it. This is where we do all of our testing. So we can take something that is dreamed up back there and put it on a car and throw it on, see what it does, make sure that we hit our goals in terms of power. So not only do we have something that sounds good and looks good, we have something that actually does what it's supposed to do. Don't obviously nothing's outsourced in terms of testing. The car's in the dyno now. It has prototype high flow cats and prototype reduction. Trying a couple different sizes, going back and forth with blogs to our software partner in California, GIAC. If you look really close, you can see the reduction pulley on the front of it. It's a tiny little guy sticking off the front of the motor. But all of the logs, all of our data, all of our numbers come right off of here into the laptop that usually sits right there next to the passenger seat, which then goes to the desk in the back, and then comes on my desk and ends up on the forums or on the website when the time is right. So, like I said, if you want to take a look, it's just a tiny little guy sticking off the front of the motor. I haven't done a whole lot of testing with it just yet, so I can't get into too many specifics, but we're looking to make some good power with it. As far as it's right now, I think it's over 360 at the wheels. It's pretty quick. All bolt-on stuff. Next is our Fabrication Department. This is where kind of everything happens. So if you guys want to all come in and you can take a closer look, so you guys can all file in here. Alright, cool. This is our prototyping lift. When a car comes in to do our measurements, generally the third bay over there is one of our prototyping area. That's where we have the car and we're physically making the exhaust to put it on it. Where we do all of our measurements and everything is going to be right here. Now, if you guys look behind you, we have another one of our jigs right here on the lift, right in front of you. That is for a R8 V10 system. The complexity of the R8 V10 system is as such where the entire rear section of the car has to come off. The heat shielding, basically you have the rear composite piece and the heat shielding and then the exhaust. So the last thing we want to do is have something that doesn't fit properly. So what we did was we took all the guesswork out and made it into one-piece system. The one-piece system requires roughly 40 hours of labor to bend and put together, and then about another 8 or 9 hours to physically put on the car. Obviously putting the system on the car is not 40 or not 9 hours, but taking the car apart, disassembling it as such is what takes all the time. So you have everything from where the physical headers come out and bolt onto the exhaust, all the way to the cans, which are going to be right down there, the piping which comes in here, all of the stock tolerances and hanger systems, all the way down to the tips where they're going to exit right there. Like I said, that ensures that after we go through all that work and charge the client all that money to put it on, it definitely fits and there's no guesswork whatsoever. But like I said, that's one guy, continuous start to finish, 40 hours. The next step is our bender, mandrel tube bender. This is the workhorse. This is the absolute backbone of every system that we do. Bend everything on this. It supports the tube internally, so we don't have to worry about any cramping issues, any crimping issues. It keeps it consistent size throughout the bend, so we don't have to worry about any restrictions in airflow or anything like that. Like I said, this is everything that we bend is spinning right here. Alright, our next step is going to be the CNC machining station. This is the 45 block of aluminum that I hinted at earlier on. This is how the TTRS intake starts life in a nutshell. Those are B8S4 boost taps that we're machining currently. Dan, you want to contribute to this at all? I got it. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so this is a 45-pound block of aluminum, which starts out life, and then about 29 hours later, it turns into the end tank on the TTRS intercooler. Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I think it's like 36,000 lines of code, which it goes through to make the physical end tank. This is our polishing tumbler, just to polish the exhaust, make sure everything looks as good as it sounds. As you guys, I should have said this earlier on, but the piping back there, it's all T304, multiple sizes, because it stands up the best to heat. It looks the best after time, and it can stand up to our winters, and winters all over the place. This is going to be our CNC control bandsaw. This can load up about 20-foot lengths and cut the tolerances within 5 thousandths. So it's super accurate. We can just load our tube in there, make sure everything's perfect length, which again adds to great fitment and longevity throughout the system. So then we'll come over here. This is going to be all our welding stations. So after the pipe comes off the wall, it's cut and bent, it's going to go to one of these stations where it where it is in a certain spot in its development. This is the rear of a V8 A4 or an A5 2-liter system. But as you can see, again, it's on the jig. Everything's cramped. Definitely don't take any shortcuts when it comes to fitting perfect, because the last thing we want is to have somebody who's waited for their exhaust and really look forward to it, come back from the dealer and say, it didn't fit. And then these are all the other little sections of it, kind of waiting to go together, all the different bends. This is our last station of the fabrication process. This is where all of the individual pieces come together. Again, this is where our engineering hang out at. There's 3 mechanical engineers, 2 shop foremen that hang out back there, and everything that we kind of dream up in the front office, they make it work. So whether it's on SolidWorks or any sort of CAD machinery or anything like that, also making the programs for the CNC machine, ensuring flow testing without actually having to physically have an operational part, check tolerances, things like that. SolidWorks is a very cool program. Also, as you can see, these are all of our different jigs for different things. So obviously you're going to have, right there is going to be the rear of a GTI, comes out, splits, goes to the tube tips. It's a Mark 6 system. And this is where everything is staged before it goes up to be boxed up and shipped out to whoever is the I was afraid this was going to
We do all of our prototype developments right on to production on the same.
Do you guys have any questions while we're waiting?
Every part that we
How many guys get working?
What's that?
How many guys get working back here?
We have
Talked about the
we have 20. We're a small operation. We have 28 or 29 people total, front office and back here. I would say probably dedicated 15 to 19 are going to be back here doing our welding. All of our stations are filled up. Like I said, the 2 foremen and the MEs. That's one of the MEs over there who I asked to contribute. Didn't want to. It's okay. Yeah, he's one.
I'm never going to help them out.
No. That's pretty much our operation in a nutshell. Yeah, this is some of you guys were taking pictures. We hit all the top secret stuff, so we couldn't give too much away. Yeah, like I said, I gave the fully away on the forum the other day, so you guys all kind of know about that. Yeah, so in the next few months, we have a couple new things coming out. We're going to come out with the golf bar exhaust, obviously. The A7 exhaust is coming out as well. Gauges for Jetta and CC. And KO4 kit for the Mark 6 GLI. So if you guys have any of that, we'll help you out. Go fast. Again, do you guys have any questions for me or anything like that before we send you back outside into the elements? Whatever it's doing out there. All right. Well, I will take that as a no.
Alright.
So yeah. If anything comes up, feel free to grab anybody that has one of these shirts on. I think they all pretty much work here. Might be a few others kind of hanging around, but in any event, they might know something too. But yeah, anybody, one of these shirts or a collared AWE shirt, be able to help you out with any questions.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take it easy, guys.